and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chris, would you lead us in prayer this evening, please?
Sure. Dear God, we thank you for this this season that we're in the middle of right now, where we celebrate the birth of your Son, our Savior, Lord. We thank you for all those that have came to the meeting tonight, and that they will return home safely. Lord, we pray that the decisions made tonight will be pleasing to you and will be good for this county. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chris. Good evening, everyone. If you haven't signed in, please do. We've got a short agenda, so hopefully we can get in and out of here pretty quick. First up, approval of minutes. We have two sets of minutes. We have the, let's see what the date is on this. The minutes from December the 5th. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve December the 5th minutes.
I have a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Joel. All in favor? Aye. And then we have the special highway meeting on the 8th. There you go, Bob. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes for December the 8th?
Make a motion to approve the December the 8th minutes.
Have a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Joel. All in favor? Aye. In the matter of claims, I'll read these all three categories and then we'll move forward. We have payroll at $238,936.85. Regular claims, $375,232.82. And out-of-cycle claims, and we have utilities, COVID clinic, Toshiba, and for the Visa cards at $22,330.53. Start with payroll. Do I hear a motion to approve payroll for $238,936.85?
I make a motion to approve payroll.
Have a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Joel. All in favor? Aye. Find my regular claim stack here.
Box.
Oh, the whole, right here on top, gotcha. Get my finger to work, make sure. Regular claims, $375, $232.82. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve regular claims.
I have a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Joel. All in favor? Aye. And out-of-cycle claims for $22,330.53. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve out-of-cycle claims, $22,330.53.
I have a motion by Joel. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Bob. And again, we have utilities, COVID clinic, Toshiba, and Visa 1, 2, 3, and 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Better say that before I keep on signing in. As we're signing these, I'm gonna go ahead and find we're gonna add one item to new business this evening. We have a BZA appointment up for the commissioners, and we have Mr. Chad Van Ryan here this evening and is willing to take that position, and we appreciate that greatly. Chad was one of the commissioner candidates that just recently ran. The position that the commissioners appoint is to be a Republican spot, but it can also be a Libertarian or an Independent. So that's why we're gonna fill that position, and I appreciate Chad called me sometime back and said he'd be willing to fill that. So I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the BZA appointment of Mr. Chad Van Ryan. And do I hear a motion to
I'll make
approve?
that motion.
I have a motion to approve by Bob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Joel. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Chad. Susan right there, sits on the BZA as a secretary. She wants to get some information from you this evening, contacts, kind of give you an idea of what's going on there. So if you can get with her before you take off, we'll get you rolling. We appreciate you.
Appreciate the opportunity. I look forward to working with Susan, Norm, and Sandra Woods.
That'd be great.
Thank
It'd
you.
be awesome.
Thank you very much for participating.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You get involved, it make you think second about getting involved anymore.
Don't talk to me from a year from now.
He's not here, he's not here this evening.
Yeah, but
I'm
she's-
Todd.
You're Todd tonight? Okay.
Yeah, she's.
Well, Todd, you got better looking, I'll tell you that. If you wanna come on up, what was your name again, I'm sorry?
I'm Rhonda Stockstone.
Okay, Rhonda.
Do I have to sit here? I need to know the protocol.
Yeah, you can come up.
Yeah, just sit right there.
All right.
It's pretty informal here. Just kinda gonna go over, and the commissioners here are all well aware of, the discussion that we've had, and Todd came to us last meeting and discussed the $250,000 for infrastructure. We feel that it's really important that we put that in a proper place. And, I spoke to Todd after that. The town of Spencer, which we had originally kind of put a plan together, has agreed to add $100,000 with our 250, as well as the water corporation's adding some to that as well.
Correct.
They added near 400, didn't they?
The total cost is $443,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's projected.
Right. Now, when I talked to Todd, and I don't see it on this new, piece of paper that I've got here in front of me, they added the other sentence there about the town, and we greatly appreciate working with the town. He also said with this new amount that they could possibly get this down towards Franklin Road, a little bit past Harts Gravel, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, before I make this motion, I wanna make sure that we're working in that direction, because the county owns property down there, and that's where we're working for development, so.
That's not a guarantee, but yeah, that is the idea, head that way.
Okay,
'Cause there's a lot of, properties popping up in that area too, a lot of development.
absolutely.
We wanna make sure we service.
And I've talked to our building department, and she showed me some projection building out on Harts Gravel. It's some property out there somewhere, it's been some time back, but in that general area, and then that we own 185 acres just south of that, so. We, as in the county. Do you have anything to add to it?
I do not. He just wanted to tell you thank you for listening to him, and happy that the town has agreed to add 100,000 to that as well. And yeah, he's just hoping that we can pass that.
Gentlemen, I think it's a great thing for Owen County. It's progress, it's what we've been looking for.
I agree.
And I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and approve the $250,000 to the Bean Blossom Patricksburg Water Corporation, along with the other monies that are here presented to us this evening.
I'll second that.
Got a second by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Awesome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. We really appreciate it.
Tell Tom we appreciate him as well.
I will. He's at a pool right now, but I'll be sure.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Rhonda.
There you go, Sheila, you want that one back? I hope everybody sees that that's a good thing for Owen County as far as growth in the future, so. All right. Sam,
Well, guys, it's been a good run. I appreciate you. I know we've had good days and bad days, good meetings and bad meetings, but, I'm not going nowhere. Gonna be still here in the county, involved in the county, doing things. Just gonna wish you the very best. Merry Christmas. Thank you for your service. Continue to be working with them until we come to as many meetings as I can, 'cause I like to stay involved, and I'm gonna stay involved as much as I can, so. Thank you, take care of each other, and look out after the county for us. Appreciate all you do.
And we appreciate everything you have done for the county in the last 8 years, Sam. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hated we couldn't get that jail project started. I know that we're all waiting on that to move forward, but
Well, I've got some, plans in the works for you. That I can probably maybe help you with, here next year or so. Maybe we can get together and work on some things. So, you know, it's still a front burner for me. It's been a long time coming, but, it'll happen when time is right and the good Lord says move forward. We're gonna move forward with the jail and
I think we're ready. We just gotta figure out the dollars and cents part of it. And that's kind of where we're at, so.
It's always a problem.
Yep.
Well, I'm hoping we'll see some of Sheriff Hobbs's ideas come to fruition in the next year or so, and I've spoke with you
sure.
personally on some of those and jail project as well
Yeah.
as generator and things of that nature, and those all were,
I know you guys, you know, you guys got the list of security things. I know some things are happening, got the post up. We're getting tending tomorrow. We got the wands, flashlights, and the generator would be a huge asset to the county. It's, you know, a 13-year project. It's gonna play out, so some things take a little longer than we want, but there's always a reason for it, so.
Sam, I think checking with John last week, I don't remember what day it was, we went through this list again, and I think we've pretty well got everything knocked off, but about 4 of the items out of the 14, so we're moving pretty good,
That's
so.
awesome.
We do have, and you had requested on here, a message board. We do have that in our possession. Steve's been out sick, so he's planning on this week getting that installed opposite of the mailboxes as you walk in. It is a weatherproof glass enclosure with a key. Don't know the exact size, but it's pretty good size billboard type. So that will be going up soon for all of our postings and notifications, so they'll no longer be on the doors of the courthouse and the windows blocking for security.
That's awesome, yeah, that decorating the doors, notices wasn't working out very well.
No, so, yeah, we do have that here in our possession, and I think you got the 200 cards ordered for security passes, so, yeah, we're moving forward with all that, so.
All right, I just appreciate everything, guys, thank you much.
Sam, you have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
I'm not sure, but I think you're trying to go for Santa Claus there with the full gray
Well,
beard.
I was going, people's asking me, man, what has happened? Let me get this, and I'm gonna leave unless you need something else.
Too many donuts and cookies down at the jail.
Well, here's the deal. Me and my wife play Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus in Coal City down at Park Park. We've done it for like 4 years, and we give gifts away to the kids, and they set them up. We all dress up, you know. And my wife asked me this year, she said, would you do me a favor? Of course, you know how wives are. You say yes. Immediately. She said, would you let your beard grow for 1 year?
oh, wow.
Yeah, thank you. See what it looks like now. I said, oh, and my hair, she wants me, I've already got this.
You don't want that.
You got a good start,
I
yeah.
got a good start, I'm gonna see what I can do with that, but,
You guys have fun with that, and that's great.
so, God bless you all, love you, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, Chris, ambulance bids, come on up and we'll let Dana take care of that. We actually have a bid and a quote. We'll do the bid first.
Yeah, it should be a bid for an ambulance. I think we've received one.
Okay, assume the bigger one's the bid.
Used to, you could say you got a pocket knife.
I do. Mine's small enough I can get through.
It is
Hey,
thoroughly
hey,
sealed.
Chad,
Sorry.
I had a voicemail on my cell phone, and it was not a nice one, but long story short, they wanted the Republican Party to take their signs down off of Mount Zion Road. And actually, one of them is yours, and one is Rachel's. I don't, they put the political signs down on Mount Zion Road. I don't mind picking them up, but I still want to push my signs without their permission.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were still up. Mount Zion, we'll get it done.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks again, Chad.
Thanks.
Okay, this bid is from Medics for the new ambulance proposal for the Owen County EMS. and it's proposed by PennCare. Many needs, one solution is their model. And their proposal, their bid amount is $203,542. And the anticipated date of delivery is 365 days from receipt of the chassis. There is an alternate bid, which is the price of the purchase and installation of a Stryker power load center mount, and that alternate bid amount is $237,537. Alternate bid 2, provide a Stryker power load center mount, and the alternative bid is the price for installation only, and that bid is $206,542. And it is signed by the sales representative of PennCare.
Before we approve that, do you want to open the quote on the other one? Or you're good, how do you,
Because
we've got 3 options here, Chris. Which option are you looking at? Because I know we've talked about
yeah, I think the best bet for us to do would be to accept the ambulance with the antler system in it,
the 203.
the 203,542.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get at. I just.
Yeah.
With that being said, gentlemen, we have one quote and the recommendation of the EMS director. I propose that we accept the bid at
$203,542.
542, and I didn't know what the change was. Is there no change? Okay.
No change.
$203,542.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion made by myself, Sheila, seconded by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Take that so you don't hurt yourself.
The next should be a quote for
Sorry?
Defibrillators.
Yes. This is a quote from Stryker in response to the request for quotes. And quotes. Yes. So the product would be a LifePak 15 carry case back pouch. That part is $60.61. The LifePak 15 carry case top pouch is $42.61. The Messio RC patient cable EMS 4-foot is $175.23. And the 4G modem component is $843.14. And when that is added to the equipment total becomes $36,738. The trade-in of the Stryker towards the purchase of the LifePak, the credit is $7,500. In the ProCare LifePak 15 prevent service, the annual on-site preventative maintenance inspection and unlimited repairs, includes parts, labor, and travel with battery for Life 15 V4 monitor defib, manual and AED training, non-invasive pacing, SpO2, carbon monoxide, NIBR, 12 lead ECG, ETCO2, BT included, no charge, 2 pair OC electrodes, and 1 test load per device, 1 service manual CD per order. And for that, annual on-site preventative maintenance is $5,352.45. So, when you deduct the credit, for the trade-in and add the service agreement, there's also freight and shipping of $547.46. The, grand total then becomes $34,590.45. These prices are in effect for 30 days and the terms are net 30 days.
Do you want to take a peek at that quote, Chris, or?
Yeah, is there any way that I could, cause when we put out our quote, request, we didn't know who all was gonna.
Obviously, we only have one.
Yeah, so is there any way I could step out and look at this? We put in there that we could delete any part of it that we wanted or whatever. So can I step out and look at it and kind of?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. We'll move on to our next step, and then when you're done, just,
This is sole one, it's been opened, it's been read, so.
Okay.
You can-
All right, then I'll come back.
long as Dan says we're good, so.
I'll come back with a recommendation of, because we don't need some of this stuff, so.
Sure,
But
Yeah,
we
just
had to
step
put
out.
it in there in case someone else bid on it.
Absolutely.
So,
You know your equipment, not us.
all right,
Yeah.
thank you.
With that being said, we'll move on to our ADA compliance, and I'm gonna let Dana touch on that. For everyone that's aware or unaware, we have to be as a county ADA compliant to continue not just community crossings, but grants throughout the state for our whole county. And it's very important that we get this process going. And I think as of this evening, we're gonna get that done. So I'm gonna let Dana take over.
Okay, what is required is a ADA transition plan, with 13 points of compliance for Title II entities and a Title VI implementation plan. A company called ADA Consulting of Indiana LLC has, provided a proposal for those, services, and they will be able to complete both of those plans by January 2nd. So when it comes time next year to file the application, you'll be able to check both of those boxes that you have both of those plans in place. The fee for that would be a not to exceed fee of $6,000. There is attached a pricing for each of the different services of the different team that would be involved, but the not to exceed is $6,000. And again, if it's approved tonight, they say it could be completed and delivered on or before January 2nd. And as part of that as well, in the agreement is on-call services if they would have to be ordered and accepted by our ADA compliance person, which is Sheila. And to the things that this would include would be staff training, so that they can understand what these plans are. And
Can I jump in just real quick?
Yes.
And when he's talking about department and staff training, I want to make sure through Sheila that we have a department person, doesn't have to be the department head, but you're appointing someone to come and go through this training. Obviously, you guys are the only department sitting here right now, but Sheila, you hear what I'm saying? I want the clerk, I want, somebody from each office to be here, so that load's not just all on you, and then you're relaying that information. So we're training each individual from an office.
Or
Yeah, every office, yeah. EMA, 911, EMS, everybody. Okay, Dan, I'm sorry.
That's okay. They could also provide plan reviews for new construction projects if you wish. All of those services would have to be, requested of them. They're not gonna just start providing services.
Right, they're gonna bring us the information and then we make the decision.
Right, if you want to go that route or not. And so again, that same pricing for their services would apply to that as well. So that's a good thing, because you're not committing to actually doing anything, but to the extent you need it, they're there ready to provide that services. It is important to understand that for compliance with ADA, this is just the first steps, is getting these plans in place. Once the plans are in place, there'll be a process where you go through all of the county facilities and look at them and have them evaluated to determine where they may be deficient in ADA, and then what it would take to bring them up to code, to the ADA. And so that's gonna be a long process. It's fairly expensive for each building to go through, and that's not actually doing the work, that's just saying what needs to be done. And then the county could proceed with prioritizing and working towards that compliance. I would guess that the evaluation part is gonna probably take a year, year and a half, maybe 2 years to complete. And of course, if emergency things are found, you could go ahead and work on those. But then the actual implementation of the construction projects to do everything may end up taking multiple years to get through. I mean, you can only afford what you can afford.
Right.
So prioritizing will be very important when it comes to that. So just wanted to remind that this is kind of the beginning of a process, and there will be more to come.
$6,000 is minute to what it's gonna be when we actually have to start putting in doors and ramps and, all these kind of things. So,
But we know that a lot of our facilities are not
absolutely.
compliant,
Yeah.
and so this is a step that we have to take.
Definitely gonna get us going in the right direction.
So I have reviewed their proposal, and the fees that they would charge. The fees seem customary and reasonable to me, and the proposal seems inclusive of what is necessary to get these two plans completed. And so
Everything's in order.
I believe everything is in order.
All right, gentlemen, any comments or concerns or something we've been waiting on for a year and a half? Year anyway, so I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the ADA Consulting LLC proposal.
I make a motion we approve their contract.
Do I hear a second? Have a
Second.
motion by Bob, seconded by Joel, all in favor? Aye. I've got, is this our official copy to sign here that I have? Is that good enough? Okay.
Put a sticker on.
All this,
I applaud the board for go ahead and getting this step done. Thank you so much.
What's one less
it's
thing
gonna
that,
take some time, Greg, I mean, it's,
but this covers us with the state.
yeah.
This is the step we've been asking
For
for.
yeah, and I know this hits home with you, pretty good
This
lick.
first step was great. Thank you.
So again, it's gonna be important that you get somebody from each department working closely with Sheila to understand what each department is required to do and each building's gonna need and so on and so forth. Hey, you ran for auditor, it comes with all this baggage.
Sheila, you want me to put this in the basket with the rest? Okay.
Just giving you a little hard time there.
It's good.
That count to soil and water conservation on rented buildings.
Probably not, because that lease is not in the county's name.
But the council give them money.
So yeah, we may have to have Dana, we have a situation with the soil and water where they took a mortgage out on that building and they are buying it. The county council is subsidizing some of that with part of their budget. The building actually does not belong to Owen County, but we are funding part of it. So we may have to look at
We'll
that.
have to look into that, yeah.
Good point, Bob.
Have to look
I
at
mean, that's the only one I can think of that possibly we need to look at that's maybe or may
Yeah, all
not
the
be.
rest of them we would own.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with some of the things in the county yet, but sometimes the fairgrounds are part of it, but that looks like it's owned by a separate.
It is not part of the county's government, yeah.
Did the county ever own that property?
No,
not that I'm aware of. Sheila did make another good point. The health department stands in a building that they lease. Matter of fact, they signed a 5-year paid up front lease, if I'm not mistaken, or is it a yearly paid up front?
I would say that would
Agree
pass.
with the option, but it's still public business and county.
My thought on that, Gary, is that the leaser should ensure that that building is compliant.
That's a good.
And that's something that they can be held accountable for.
And it might be in their contract, we'll get you.
If it's not already, it should be.
No, that's a very good point,
I'd say it's already.
because again, they own the building and we're just leasing it, the health department's
Right.
leasing it, so it's up to them to make sure that it would be compliant, so, and that is, I forget, G and something, G and E and G leasing or something like that, LLC. But you can check with the health department and verify that.
I would think that liability would lie within there.
You are correct, I agree with you. All right, so we've got that passed, long time coming. So now we're ready for highway.
Can we back up?
We can back up.
Sorry. The BVP and the ARPA, the 250,000, are they submitting us bills and we paying them, or are we writing them a lump sum check?
Now, I told Todd, so everybody knows, and the YouTube, that he would have to go to the county council
Okay,
to get final appropriation. It's already been approved many times as far as that money being set aside, but the final step to that is the county council has to.
Hey, Sharon. Hi. How's that?
And at that point, I'm assuming that we'll just write.
Yeah, back tomorrow for x-rays to make sure the bone's healing, but if not.
Who needs that?
And I forgot to tell that gal that, but Todd already knows it, so.
With your guys' permission, he said he was gonna be a while.
Okay,
So-
yeah, you better jump back in there.
So if I could explain a little bit, if another company would have bid and been a low bid and we decided to take that, we would have had to get battery chargers. We would have, because the different companies would have different batteries. We'd have to buy batteries, power adapters, stuff like that. We would have had.
We already have these things.
We've already got that stuff, so when I go through and take everything out of, that we're not gonna have to buy because we've already got it, I would like to propose to, do away with the ProCare plan because we've already got a plan for maintenance on these that.
We've had that for some time.
We'll roll right into, yeah. We'll take the modem out of it. The battery chargers, or the battery charger, batteries, power adapter, and power cord. All that totals $9,521.95. So that brings the total down to $25,068.50.
Outstanding. Chris, have you got those items marked on that quote by chance?
I can,
Could you do that, please, and we'll make a copy of that page, and that way all three commissioners can have it, as well as the attorney. And that way we know what deductions have came off of that.
okay. So, with your guys' approval, I mean, I've got the money in my budget. It was just the threshold of the amount that it was, had to go out for quote. So with your guys' approval, marking these things out, I'd like to go ahead and.
That was $25,058.50.
$25,068.
68. And that company again is?
Stryker.
Stryker. That's just what it is, okay. Just want to make sure.
Well, he trimmed the fat on that one, didn't he?
Yeah. So with Chris's recommendation, do I hear a motion to approve the Stryker, quote reduced to $25,068.50? Do I hear that motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Stryker quote, $25,068.00.
I have a motion by Joel. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
So as soon as Chris gets that marked, we'll make copies for everybody. And
Does that copy your work?
yeah, it does. Just turn it on and put it there on the screen, Chris, and if you wanna put us out about 5 copies, I guess. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Sorry, Greg. Jan, sorry. Thanks for letting me jump ahead.
I'm glad you run back in here, Chris. I actually forgot you were out there. Not that you're forgettable.
Well, yeah.
Good evening, Commissioners. I know we need to get some bids approved tonight, but I would like to start with the 2023 road plan. Commissioners, I'm not going to ask for a signature on this tonight, but there are a few components that I'm going to need a vote on. There's been sickness in my office, including secretaries, administrative assistants, and pretty thin around there with help. So, I'll just start with the hard surface, and that's more what we need to speak about this evening, anyway, Commissioners. And then at your next meeting, I will get the plan, the data ahead of time. It's pretty standard. It's been through the commission on several occasions, but he can review it and then for your signature at your next meeting.
Okay.
But for the 2023 plan, we already have in motion. And I'm gonna ask for a vote on these this evening. Some of them don't need, but Beamer Station is an ARPA road. Bethsaida is an ARPA road. Those need to be chip and sealed. The commission's already voted on those, but those are part of the plan. In regard to hot mix out of our own budget during the work session the other night, or other day, commissioners talked about Franklin Street in the town of Freedom and Jefferson Street in the town of Freedom. We paved a street in the town of Quincy last year out of budget. So I would have asked that the commission vote out of budget to pay Franklin Street and Jefferson Street in the town of Freedom. Combs Road has been approved under ARPA to receive hard surface. Orchard Heights Drive, Farmers Road, as well as Hillcrest, all ARPA. With regard to full depth reclamation, the commissioners voted the other night to do Oberholzer Road from Stevens Road to Orman Road in its entirety. The commission had earlier in 21, and just because of COVID, lack of workers, we were unable to do Kirby Road. Kirby Road would be a full depth reclamation. Commission, I would also ask that we place Cedar Lane from Switchboard Road to Skirvin Road as full depth reclamation.
Greg, if you wanna stop there, we can go ahead and take some votes.
Okay, great, that would be nice.
If you're good with that, I think that we can go ahead and probably do it as a consolidated group, the 2 streets for hot mix, the cold mix, which we was discussed in the special meeting,
Yes.
and the full depth reclamation. We'll cover all 3 of those categories if you guys are all right with that, unless the commission sees something different or would like to make a change.
You wanna do a chip and seal too there?
It's already been approved. Anything that has ARP has already been voted on, so, if you don't see any other changes there, Bob, and, I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the highway superintendent's, proposal of the, hot mix for Franklin Street and Jefferson Street in Freedom, Indiana. Also, cold mix for East Phillips Road, from 231 to, Hollabrook Road, Coon Path to Rocky Hill to the dead end, Orman Road from County Line to Pleasant View. And if budget allows, cold mix on Marion Road. Full depth reclamation on Kirby Road, Oberhauser Road, and Cedar Lane, as stated. Do I hear a motion to approve those following items?
I'll make a motion, we approve those following items.
I have a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Joel. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, commissioners. Then I want to jump to community crossing. Commissioners, I believe you're all aware, but, we did, receive community crossings of, nearly $1 million this year. And that was for the 2022 call. We're going to, surface Fiddler Road from Tower Road to Combs Road, Concord Road in its entirety, and Steubenville Road from Keith Road to 246. Commission, each one of you, gave me a list, and with the monies that I believe that are available and the mileage we will get, I believe these next 3 roads fit. And that's Fiddler Road from Combs Road to Jones Road, Pea Ridge Road from Timber Ridge to Pottersville in its entirety, and Beach Church Road from Denmark Road to State Road 157. The call, and we will start submitting the grant on January 3rd, so I would like a vote on these roads this evening, Commission. And if we do find that we could add to this to get more money, Commissioners, I'll just need the latitude to come to you and say, hey, we've got some more mileage, I need to apply for more.
And also, gentlemen, this really doesn't affect, there's a little bit in here that doesn't really affect the highway's actual budget that we would use for normal road repair.
Right.
So we've got, and I'm not gonna speak for Greg because he knows his department way better than I do, but we're gonna have some funds available there that we're gonna be able to do some other things as well. Because we didn't really tap into hard to your budget this year. That's why we have money rolling over to the next year, which is a very good thing.
You know, as I explained, we were short on employees, we just couldn't get a lot of work done. We didn't get community crossings until the second call this year, and part of that was because of some, compliance issues, part ADA, thank you, the other was GPS issues. So we'll have, we had some money set aside there out of lit edit, the council put forward. They're gonna put forward money out of lit edit this year for this community crossing, which doesn't come out of our budget, out of my budget. So gentlemen, that's gonna free up another $333,000, I believe, plus. There's a lot of things going on in the industry, now that I would like to bring before the board. Some folks would agree, some would disagree, but we need to take care of what we have that is in good condition. So sometimes we have to spend money on that, but there are some redo products in regard to fog sealing that we need to talk about on some roads that are already down, that are in relatively good condition, chip seal and scrub sealing. So I believe there's a lot of work we can get done this year. I am now just too short of having a full staff. I hired 2 people today, part-time seasonal, that could jump in a truck and plow snow.
Don't say that, Greg.
Don't
say that.
I think we're getting in pretty good shape. A real report we've got, besides the COVID we've dealt with, we've got 2 employees with serious illness. Can't state names, but those of you that know them, keep them in your prayers because they've got a long road. They're good employees, they've been with us for a long time.
I would hate to hear that, and definitely prayers out to them. This, what you have here in front of us, Greg, and you've got a back page here. Do you want a full approval of everything that we have here, with signatures on this?
I wanna hold off with the signatures. I
Okay.
just wanted approval on this,
The ones that were.
the hard service we were talking about tonight, because I need that for LTAP. The rest, I would like, the prior county attorney always looked everything over. I was just able to get it emailed today, so I would like Dana to have time to take a look at it.
Sure.
before,
Okay.
And there are some just, like I said, I've got some office issues, so I already just reading it this evening, would like to fix a few typos.
Not a problem. I was gonna say this till the end, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up now. I spoke about this with Joel earlier today, or I believe it was. Anyway, you know, we hear a lot of negative response coming from different people in the county, social media and so on and so forth. The highway department, with our help, council's help, has put, with ARPA funds and community crossings for 2022, $2 million on our county roads and bridges over and above your own budget. That's impressive. That's not something that gets to happen every day in this county or every year in this county. So, you know, we're working towards positive things, and I want to make sure that people understand that. And I know that Joel's got a little bit of comment on that as well.
Yeah, I wanted to share with you, Greg, and Chad, your entire highway department. Despite the, you know, I'm new to this game, but I came in when you were shorthanded by, you know, would be an understatement. I can tell you that District 3, people are noticing a difference, positive difference. And that reflects on you guys. It doesn't reflect on me, it reflects on you guys. They're seeing positive things. We've had a great influx of Amish community. People are liking what they see. They're enjoying it. And I know it's you know, and I keep telling people, you know, this isn't gonna happen overnight. However, a lot of positive things are going on in District 3, and I think we could all probably admit that that's been an issue, and so kudos to you and your crews for getting Beach Church straightened away, and so that's really what I had to say, and I hope that those listening on YouTube understand that this doesn't happen overnight. And I see nothing but positive since I've been in this seat, so I'm looking forward to the next 2 years and what the highway department can bring to this county. So bravo to you guys for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you, I told Joel this, and I was at a funeral yesterday, and a gentleman come up to me and patted me on the back, and he said, I wanna tell you, since the last 4 years, and I'm not patting myself on the back because we've worked together, commissioners worked together, he said the roads are in better shape than they've seen them in a long, long time. That means a lot to me, because I know we worked hard to get that stuff done. So I just wanted to pass that on, just like Joel said, the citizens are seeing it. So pat yourself on the back and your staff as well.
Thank you, and that's come from commission, council working with us, guys. I mean, when Commissioner Burton took over, we were sidelining dump trucks. We didn't have hardly anything that ran. We've got good equipment now. Maintenance plans on everything that we do. I'm proud of the department. I'm proud of my guys.
As you should be.
You should be.
So we'll say thank you for keeping our roads safe when all the snow hits Thursday. I'll buy you guys pizzas.
If you need any help, I'm always down the road, Greg.
Okay,
I might be sorry I said that.
you might be.
All right, where are we at next? So we're gonna hold on to this, let Dana go through.
Vote on the community crossing roads.
No, we did not.
22 to 2023.
I need to take a vote on those 23 roads. just
Yeah.
so we can proceed.
So
Pea Ridge and Beach
Yep.
Church Road.
I'll ask for a motion to approve the 2023 community crossings request, Fiddler Road, Pea Ridge, and Beach Church Road. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve those 3 roads.
I have a motion by Bob.
2023.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. All in favor? Aye.
Commissioner Lowe brought up, and I know Commissioner Burton knows this is an issue that I believe needs to be addressed, so I will bring it up again. The Amish community is growing. And gentlemen, I will tell you that I live in the Amish area. I have a very good, I would call him a friend that is Amish when we first moved in. And he himself told me that we needed to adopt some rules and gave me the guidances where I needed to go. In regard to some ordinances, he himself told me what the horses would do to or the county roads, etc. And I'm going to ask that we revisit those ordinances. I know it takes somebody to enforce those, but we would require anyone else, and the community expects us to do that. They really do.
No, I agree with you, Greg, and I know.
I'd like to add to that, and we've had this conversation on numerous occasions, and I have, my understanding is that there's many more families planning on joining us in Owen County.
Yes.
I take that under serious advisement because that's for real, and quite a large number of families. I think you've also heard very much the same, Greg, and it's a shame to put a nice surface on a road, and my thought pattern on this, Gary, is to have, and it's entirely, if you want to take this, is have Greg get a hold of Davies County Highway Superintendent, and that might be a way to work backwards. Or we could reach out to Davies County Commissioners.
Yeah, and Dana can do a lot of that investigation for us, check into some of those county ordinances in those areas. Up north, Shipshawana, those type of places, a large Amish community. Yeah. So we looked at this briefly, a couple of years ago, Greg, or has it been a year ago, something like that, and never really went anywhere with it. Seemed to feel like that we just didn't have what it took to fulfill the obligation to the ordinance, or it wouldn't be enforced. We're hoping that there's a little bit of change there with that coming up.
And I certainly don't want anybody viewing to insinuate that we're getting down. It's just, we have to, it's no different than license plating an automobile, or, making sure it's running on rubber tires instead of steel tires. This is a thing that has to be done to protect the work that we're currently doing and for the future.
Greg, I think you'd even mentioned, and Joe, you might know about this as well, possibly having an ordinance to plate buggies to generate revenue to help, kind of like an excise tax. And every county does things different. We'll just have to dig into it and see what's best for us.
What's very important is to make sure that any ordinances apply to anyone and everyone, and that, there's no singling out of any particular group, especially based on religious preferences. Also that when it comes to application, that a particular ordinance, even though it may be written pretty openly, if it only really affects them, that could be an issue. As a certain group, that could be an issue. So we just need to make sure that we, take those constitutional things into consideration and make sure we do it right.
Okay.
And it just doesn't affect them. I'm saying I have a team of horses and a single, and we have trying to get a side business going, and if you have special rules to what we all have to abide by, we all know what those are.
Buggy rides around during your festivals and things
Yes.
like that, there could be all kinds of things. That's what I mean, we just have to make sure that we tread lightly.
They're maintaining their lighting awesome.
Oh, could be better.
If you see them at night, you'll definitely, that's not the issue, it's just, if any of you've been down to Davies County, they've had to reclaim a lot of roads due in part to the narrow wheels on the buggies, and so it's not singling out anybody by a stretch of it's just protecting our assets, protecting what we have, and it helps them too.
They showed us, just real quick, and we'll wrap this conversation up, but Bob and I was at the commissioners conference in the LTAP class, and they showed a particular road in an Amish community where the horses travel all the time, and it was literally dipped 6 inches below the normal road surface. And it was right down the middle of the road where the buggy, it wasn't where the wheels were at, it's where the horseshoes. And they showed, they laid a 2x4 or whatever and said, here's the problem you have in these communities. And they showed where they just resurfaced that, foot wide, 6 inch deep down the middle of the road. They didn't do the whole road, just filled that valley in, so.
Me and Superintendent Melton live out there and, out in that area, and we're getting quite an influx, and it's great to see. It brings business to the county, but we have to protect our assets.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, we do need to be careful. There's a Supreme Court case where a county wanted to protect their roads by not allowing steel cleats. And so they devised an ordinance simply not allowing steel cleats. And that was considered unconstitutional because the only ones using steel cleats were this Mennonite community. However, if it was broader, if it covers chains, snow chains and different things, any metal, as long as it's broad enough to not single out that particular entity.
Makes
so
sense.
that's what I mean.
I agree.
I'll
Oh,
do
yeah.
my best to make sure that we do these.
Talking about like steel wheels on a buggy, steel wheels on a wagon, farm wagon, stuff.
In that particular community, they originally did not, that Mennonite community did not allow tractors. And then to be able to feed their families, they realized they had to use it. So, but they didn't want them to be joyridden. So steel cleats work well in the field. It doesn't do good on the road. So it's not joyriding going up and down the road on that steel cleats. But again, since that ordinance only did steel cleats and it only applied to this Mennonite community, and so it was unconstitutional. So, but again, I'm here to help you guys.
And I believe Davies County would be a good place to start, as far as their ordinances, and I'm sure they've been through this, maybe we can learn from their, mistakes or setbacks and move on.
Gentlemen, I'm all on board. We'll let Dana do some investigation and come back with us with some ideas, and we'll go from there.
Gentlemen, the only other thing I can report is, our salt's coming in. We have plenty. We have a barn full of sand mix already ready to go. I'm not alarmed at all, but because of the river depth, we buy our salt straight from the barge, and we're having to pick it up in Aurora, Illinois this year.
Can't get it any farther, huh?
Nope. So it's taken a while to get it.
Yeah.
I can see that. All right.
They started Wasatch Lake Bridge today.
All right. I mean,
and
Franklin's done, right?
Pardon?
Franklin's done, no?
Oh, no, they brought in another crew. So they're doing,
You got two of them going at the same
two
time.
of them going at the same time. Franklin is progressing. They are either, I believe, driving piles tomorrow.
Excellent.
They've already driven the piles for the east side. They're gonna move to the west to drive those.
And then after that is Sand Hill, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Which
correct.
may be a month or two down the road before them. They've always done us a good job through these fall and winter months, moving forward, so.
Don't sweat too much that way.
Well, unless you have something else for me, we just need to discuss the yearly bids.
That is our next move, does anybody, and I apologize, I don't have my list in front of me for categories one, all the different, thank you, Sheila. I left mine back home.
Actually, I think I put one in your packet, it was laying there, but there, you're good, I got another one.
Okay, I just want to go through them and so we know what we're voting on. Category one was aggregates, and, I'll go ahead and list the companies real quick. Lincoln Park Stone, S&G Excavating, US Ag, Rogers Group, Hanson Ag, and Martin Marietta. In the past, gentlemen, and we can discuss this or we can move forward, we've always approved all bids because of the geographical area and the size of our county. It helps the highway department tremendously to be able to pick up product wherever they're working at instead of dragging all the way across the county and back. So I'll start with category one with aggregates, making a motion that we approve all 6 listed that I just mentioned. And do I hear a second for the approval?
I'll second.
I have a motion by myself, seconded by Joel. We will accept all 6 bids in category one aggregates, say that right. Category two, same scenario, unless somebody wants to.
You voting on that first one?
Yeah, did you not just,
I did.
did I not ask for a vote?
No, you did not.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
You did.
Poke me, Bob. All in favor? Aye. All right. We got it right this, now Sheila? Okay, sorry, guys. Got ahead of myself. Trying to get out of here at a reasonable time. I kind of promised John down there. We're doing all right.
All right.
Category two, bituminous materials. We have asphalt materials, E&B paving, and Milestone. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'm gonna approve category 2 for the 3 bids.
Do I hear, I got a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Joel. All in favor? Aye. Category 3 is culverts. We have Core and Main and E3 Bridge. Yeah, guardrails is down here in category 4. So do I hear a motion to approve category 3, culverts, Core and Main, and E3 Bridge?
I'll make a motion to approve category 3 culverts, Core Main Waterworks, and E3 Bridge.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Got a motion by Joel, seconded by Bob. All in favor? Aye. And category 4, guardrails and post, E&H Bridge and grading, and E3 Bridge. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
E&H, I'm sorry, but they do not have a complete.
That's right, that's right. I see it here now. She's got it zeroed out all the way across. I'm sorry, Greg. Just E3 Bridge only on that one. So I'm gonna go back and restate my request for a motion. Category 4 would be guardrail and post, E3 Bridge only. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Joel. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Bob. All in favor? Aye. Thank you guys for catching that. Give that back to Sheila. I think that's got you covered on all that stuff. Anything else?
Category 5 and 6.
Oh, I didn't turn the page. I apologize. I
In
apologize.
your minutes, you actually accepted 5 and 6 for pool lines at your last
Did we?
meeting, and you'd already
We did, yes.
rejected
Yeah.
the
We left those entirely up to,
E&H.
We let him do the fuel and told him open market on his
yeah.
lubricants. Yep, that is correct. Bob, I was right. You tried to mess me up, wasn't
Well, I just, I seen the back page on it, well,
I thought we were
I'm a old man,
even.
I got a short memory.
Anything else, gentlemen?
That's it.
Are we all weather prepared for Thursday and Friday, and trucks are good to go, and find out what's gonna break when we get out there, right?
We will.
Trucks are ready, I don't know if we are.
Yeah, there you go. We guys get plenty of rest before that
Let's
happens.
hope you guys have a nice Christmas.
Yeah. And again, guys, anything that you need from us during that time, do not hesitate to call. You know that.
I will. We'll keep
Be
you
happy to
busy.
get out there, yeah,
Well,
whatever it takes. All right, moving ahead. Sheila has requested that I remove the audio recording system. Gentlemen, we've talked about this. If you're not familiar, it's a system that records the meetings as well as YouTube will. But it also, we're talking about, it'll do the minutes for her as well. Is that correct, Sheila? We're still looking at that same program. We just want to make sure that the recording system that she's looking at is compatible or does not interfere with our present YouTube streaming.
Sure.
So once IT and her get together and we get a okay on that, she'll bring that back to the table. I'm definitely in favor of moving towards that, for her to get, some relief.
Makes your job easier.
That's right. Well, we just added some ADA problems, so now we can take the minutes from her. Maybe that'll even things up.
And Gary, you did notify those viewing that we will be keeping,
Getting ready to, but you're.
Okay, go ahead. Well,
You can do that when we get to that point. Elected officials, department heads, we have none. Norm, you got anything from the planning commission since you're sitting out there? No? I understand we don't have a quorum for tomorrow night, so there is no meeting.
Apparently not, I found that out at the caucus.
I'm glad you've got a good neighbor out there.
There was also the Toshiba.
Yes. Did you print that out by chance, or?
Yes.
I also need to find out what departments those are in. Sheila, we have got, and we've been dealing with this for a little while, we've got about 5 machines, I think it is, or something that's not tied to a portal.
Okay.
And we're still using them, but we have no maintenance contract, and they said they were either gonna shut the contract off or we had to go ahead and approve it. Dana's got that here with him. To 36 months, I think that's just to finish out the existing contract with all the other machines. I do wanna find out, it looks like, yeah, I know that a couple of these are in the treasurer's office, one's in child support, prosecutor's office, there's one in the clerk's office. That for whatever reason, we can't get these tied up to a portal. So they're not part of the other maintenance agreement. And I don't want them to shut these machines down,
No.
that we still use them, so.
Yeah.
And possibly what we can do moving forward. And I don't remember what the problem was with getting all these hooked up. I know there was some issues IT wise, for whatever reason. But anyway, this is a maintenance contract for these machines that are not tied up to our with a portal number. So it just requires one signature. So I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the Toshiba maintenance agreement. And we can break this down by department. Once Sheila gets a copy of it, we can find out exactly where these machines are at. It looks like they're all listed here. So do I hear a motion to approve this maintenance agreement with Toshiba?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Bob. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
And I did send this to, yeah, and also I did send this to Dana today for his approval, and he said everything's good, standard contract, so.
For the record, the total minimum payment for the contract, 7 printers that are black and white and 5 color printers is $323 a month for the.
And that will be broken down over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 machines. And 4 of them are, it looks like treasurer office. Some of these may be small desktop copiers too, so, but anyway, they're all listed here, Sheila. So you'll have to send out notice to the offices. I hope no one argues about that, and if they do, those machines will just no longer be there. There you go. Okay. Sheila, do you have anything?
Yes.
Nothing? Public comment? Is there any comments?
I just wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I appreciate being with you guys this month, and Seems like we're getting quite a bit done.
We are.
Glad to see that.
We appreciate you being here. I appreciate you meeting with John Reeves this week, and John's a guy full of knowledge, and talked to him yesterday, and he's excited about having you on board and thinks that you're gonna help the county tremendously. So we're excited about that.
Must have been some rhyme.
Do what, Sheila?
What's that?
I said that must have been some ride.
Sounds like some.
Joe, do you have anything?
I don't have anything, Gary.
Bob?
No, sir, just everybody wishing everybody a Merry Christmas.
And I'm gonna do the same. I wanna wish everyone a Merry Christmas, all those out there that's listening on YouTube, and all of our elected officials and the department heads out there. I do wanna make one quick comment, and I mentioned a little bit earlier about with the highway. Throughout the year, we get thrown a lot of negativity because we're involved in county government, or we sit in these seats. And I understand a little bit of it, but at the same time, we don't look at the positive, and Owen County has had a pretty decent year. We've got a couple of housing projects going, good for growth. We just signed an agreement tonight to have infrastructure, water put out on Highway 43 for continued growth. You know, those are positive things that we don't hear about through the social media, and I think it needs to be heard. So I want to make sure, and unfortunately, we've got a pretty small crowd here, but hopefully there's a few people listening on YouTube
Large crowd.
that understands, so.
And you hadn't said it officially, for those viewing, we will be maintaining the YouTube broadcast for the future. For those that are interested, we will be maintaining that.
And Joel is correct, we will continue that through 2023, we'll be reevaluated this time next year, if something changes, but for the next 12 months after this year, we'll continue to do that. So that's not gonna change. Just a lot of positive stuff that is going on. You know, we got a comprehensive plan finally passed. That was a fight and a lot of misinformation, a lot of people throwing out things that were not factual or true. So I think we're hopefully past that a little bit. Again, there's some things out there, and I'm just touching surface. There's other things out there that not everybody sees that go on to make Owen County a better place for all of us. So I hope people take time to take a look at some of those things. And the highway, as I mentioned earlier, is a big part of that as well. So with that being said, again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope everybody has a safe and merry holiday, and motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Fellow commissioners.
See you back on the 3rd.
The 3rd.
There is a final council meeting on the
27th.
27th.